Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Jazil Afif. Today I want to present about Chapter 5, Plants in Production and Inheritance. I am from Class 1B. Reproductions, the process by which plants generate or producing new individuals offsprings from its parents. It is inherent characteristics of the living organism to continue or maintain their races by the mechanism of reproductive. Mode of reproductions in plants are sexuals, does not involve sexes and fertilization. A single organism produces new individuals, new offsprings produced by mitosis and genetically identical to his parents. Sexual, by means of sex fertilization, fusions of gametes involve two gametes fused to form a zygote. Process of the gametes from formations involve meiosis divisions. Asexual productions involve only one parent, does not involve sex or the fusions of gametes. Parts of the plant such as stems, leaves, and roots become new plants, produce offspring clones genetically identical to its parents. Sexual productive occurs through spore formation, vegetative propagations, budding, and propagations. Spore formation. A spore is a reproductive structure that is adapted for reproduction and surviving for extended periods of time in affordable conditions, are usually haploid and unicellular. Vegetative propagations. Most plants have root, stem, and leaf. These are called the vegetative parts of the plants. Vegetative propagation is a type of asexual productions in which new plants are produced from root, stem, leaf, and buds. Natural vegetative propagation versus artificially vegetative propagations. Natural occur in plants, occur under the influence of mans, help to avoid physical barriers in sexual productive, help to maintain the desirable character over generations. Vegetative propagation may form new plants from the following structure: first, stems such as runs in strawberries; second, roots such as roots, tuber, and sweet potatoes; leaf in sansevieria. Natural vegetative propagation based on using vegetative organ such as stem, roots, and leaf, or parts of the extinct stock from forming adventitious roots and adventitious shoots to generate new plants. These total plants will have trait identical to parent plant and called as clone. Asexual grow by modified stems, rhizome, tuber, bulb, and stolons, or runner, corm, sucker. Method of natural propagation. Modified stem, runner, horizontal stem which grow or runs over the soil surface. The terminal bud sends up the shoots and down new roots from it. Such examples: strawberries. Modified root, root tubers, fibrous roots which swell through food. The tubers break off and grow into the new plant, such as tapioca. B. Tap roots, swollen roots for food storage in plants, storage in biennial plants such as carrots and turnip. Modified leaf. A. Plantless. Some plants produce small plants inside of the leaf. For example, Birophyllum. B. Bulbs. A bulb underground bud has a reduced stem, roots, fleshy leaves, swollen raw food. For example, onions. Artificial vegetative propagation. Artificial vegetative propagation is usually used for the propagations of the used plant, which produce either varies for few seeds or do not produce viable seeds. For example, banana, pineapple, orange, and grape. Cutting. The part of the stem is cut and grows in new plant. For example, mango, guava, and lemon. A. Layering. A slanting cut is made of the stem cap spared with a toothpick. Then new plant is cut and planted separately. This is a plant tissue culture process. Sexual reproduction. Sex reproduction is involved two haploid gametes fused to form a diploid zygote, which then grows into new offspring which is genetically different from the parents. The plants produce reproduction organ called flower. Overview of flower. Flower is component of the shoot system and the characteristic feature of angiosperm. Flower is reversible, developed to seed and fruits. Flower are not colorful, are pollinated by wind, and the color rate of the flower is want to attract the insect for pollinations. Flower parts and function. Pollen grain contain a nucleus, enter contain pollen grains, filament hold a support enter, ovary contain ovules, ovule contain female sex cells. Pollination. Pollination is transfer of the pollen grains to the female parts of a flower by agents such as gravity, wind, water, and animals. Pollination is transfer of pollen grains to the female onto the follow to the female stigma. There are two types of pollination. First is self-pollinations and cross-pollinations. Cross-pollination, also called origami, occurs only when a pollen is delivered to a flower from a different plant. Self-pollinations occur when a pollen from a flower pollinates the same flower or the flower at the same plant. This is a process of development of male and female gematified. Summary of fertilization in plant. The pollen grain under to the stigma to generate the cells. The pollen tube grows in a style where they generate and travel into forming to sperms. The pollen tube generates the ovules to microfile. The sperm fertilization egg, and then the fertilization ovule forms the seed, and last is seedling. This is a double fertilization. The pollen grain enters the stigma. The pollen tube cell grows into the cells, and pollen tube penetrate open and the ovule called a micropyle. The one of the sperm fertilized into egg form diploid zygote. Mendel's law of dominance. If two alleles at the locus difference, then one the dominant allele determines the organism's appearance, the other of recessive allele have no replicable effect to the organism appearance. Law of suggestions. The two alleles form a heritable characters paired during gametes formation and up different gametes. Law independent assortment, each pair of alleles. First, law of dominance. In a cross of parents that are pure or constraining traits, only one form of the trait will appear in the next generations. All the offsprings will heterozygous and express only dominant trait. Law of segregation. During the formation of gametes, the two alleles responsible for traits separate from each other. Allele for traits are then recombined and fertilizations, producing the genotype for traits of the offspring during gamete formations. Each member of the allotic pair separates from the other member to form the genetic constitutions of the gamete related to monohybrid inheritance. Law Third, law of independent assortment. Alleles for different traits are distributed to sex cells, which is and offsprings, independently of one another. Alleles of different genus assort independently of one another during gamete formations, related to hybrid inheritance. This is summary of Mendel's law. That's all for me. Thank you.